Good morning. Thank you for joining us here this morning. We wanted to take this opportunity to talk some more in depth about our continuing effort to crack down on illegal activity and activity that's been a scourge in the city around corner stores. We are joined by Rick St. James, who is a representative from Wegmans, Greg Collins, who is a representative from Tops, and Gary Weisbecker, who is a representative from Walgreens. These gentlemen formed a coalition and approached the Syracuse Police Department about organized retail crime. This is distinct from shoplifting. This is an organized effort to take items off of their shelves and then to resell them. And they felt that this was going on and being done at corner stores. And so they approached our police department with this information and cooperated and were extraordinarily helpful in making sure that we had a successful operation in which we were able to go to a number of corner stores and find that they were engaging in the selling and buying of stolen products. Now, this is important for a number of reasons, but as a number of you know from covering these press conferences, we've had people in our neighborhoods talk repeatedly about the kind of outdated products that they see on shelves. And what was been brought to our attention is that often these products are stolen from other retail stores and put there, and so it takes it out of a chain where you can ensure consumer safety. And so with over-the-counter medication in particular, but also food items, this becomes a significant consumer safety issue with this kind of crime going on and being put on the shelves. These stores for far too long have been allowed to sort of engage in business on the edges of our community and our neighborhoods and in the shadow of the law. And I think what you have seen since the beginning of the summer is that we have made a full-throated effort to crack down on this illegal behavior with a combination of using our regulatory efforts, the codes department, zoning, and now also with our police department. This is not the end of our effort, far from it. This is a continuing effort, and we are going to ensure that all neighborhood businesses, but particularly corner stores, have to live and follow the rules and the laws of the city of Syracuse. And by doing that, we believe that we will make sure that the kind of behavior that happens around these corner stores where they do not follow laws and rules and regulations will cease and stop. So with that, I will turn it over to Chief Fowler to talk about the particulars of the police investigation, and then of course afterwards open it up and entertain any questions that you have.
Thanks, Mayor. Yesterday, at around 9 a.m., the Syracuse Police Department conducted a raid after a lengthy investigation, as the mayor said, with our partners from the coalition that was formed. There was, in total, there was 9 defendants and 7 stores that was involved in the investigation. Yesterday, we were able to arrest 8 out of the 9 suspects. The investigation was initiated based on intelligence gathering and complaints from members of our local retail coalition. This, coupled with debriefs and criminal intelligence from our Crime Analysis Center, we decided that we were going to launch this investigation. And we also targeted the stores on the north side because we had a large concentration of burglaries, and in addition to items stolen from the various stores like Wegmans, Walgreens, and Tops. There were also burglaries that were occurring in the north side area. We believe that some of those proceeds were ending up in these stores as well. So that's why we decided to target the north side area. 2 of our detectives, Detective Collins and Detective Selimovich, who work out of the Crime Analysis Center, utilized a group of informants to go inside the store and to sell the owners or the proprietors of those stores merchandise that was purported to be stolen. It was made clear to them right up front that the items that they were purchasing were stolen. Then once they sold them the items, the informants would return back inside the store and to find the items now on the shelves marked up for 4 times what they originally sold the items for. And based on the details of these transactions, we were able to put together charges against the people purchasing these items for attempt criminal possession of stolen property in the 5th degree and for violation of the city ordinance, which is a secondhand dealership. I'll give you a detail of the stores and the charges that we lodged against them. One of the stores was Daddy's Place, which is located at 339 Wolf Street in the city of Syracuse. Arrested at that location was an Ali Ashaka. These names I'm probably going to butcher, not on purpose, but I think you already have the information now with the names on them. This person was arrested for local law violations, 4 counts, and also 2 counts of attempt criminal possession of stolen property. It also it's worth mentioning that at this particular location, we recovered 2 handguns. Now, the handguns were registered handguns, legally owned and possessed, and a shotgun. However, we are talking about a store that's engaging in criminal behavior, and we have 2 handguns present at this location, which I think it really compounds the problem. Second location was Johnny 5 Inc. at 1012 Park Street, and this suspect's name is Aziz Naji. We were able to arrest him for 2 counts of a local law violation, and then a second suspect at that location was Basim Amran, and he was also charged with 2 counts of a local law violation. The third location was Valero Gas Station, which is located at 1131 North Salina Street. The suspect at this location was Adil Hassan. This person was arrested for 4 counts of a local law violation and 3 counts of attempts stolen property in the 5th degree. The next location was number 1 convenience store located at 1000 Butternut Street, and the person arrested there was Marwan Zahar. This person was arrested and charged with 3 counts of a local law violation and 3 counts of attempt criminal possession of stolen property in the 5th degree. Next location was Al's Market. At Al's Market, we arrested Emmanuel Nujan. He was charged with local law violation and 2 counts and 1 count of attempt criminal possession of stolen property in the 5th degree. It's worth mentioning that at this location, we recovered some synthetic drug called Spike. This suspect had amount of Spike physically on his possession, I believe in his pockets, and we were able to locate some additional Spike from within the store. Obviously, there will be some additional charges that we will eventually lodge. We will eventually lodge further charges on this individual for the possession of the Spike. We discovered during the course of our investigation at that location that they were also selling loosies. Loosies is a term that's used to describe the sale of a single cigarette from a package, which is illegal in the state of New York. We were able to discover that they were doing that, and we're going to bring that to the attention of the proper authorities, and they are going to perhaps face additional charges for that. Next location, Upstate Market, 124 Merriman Ave, and arrested there is a Khalid Abab. This person was arrested for 4 counts of local law violation and 4 counts of attempt criminal possession of stolen property. Last location is First North Market, 717 Kirkpatrick Street. Suspect arrested there is Ahmad Salam, and he was charged with 2 counts of local law violations and 2 counts of attempt criminal possession of stolen property. This is indeed a successful investigation due to, first off, the work of the coalition for them to get together and to discover that they had a combined problem, and they were wise enough to sit down and come together to talk about this problem specifically, and then also form a partnership with us in an effort to do something about it. I hope this sends a strong message to anyone out there that has a corner store, any store, and you're going to try to purchase stolen property to resell it back to members of our community. This is not going to be the last time we conduct an investigation like this. We're going to continue to do this as long as people out there attempt to engage in this type of behavior. We're going to continue to work with our coalition partners. We're going to continue to gather our intelligence information, and we're going to continue to go after these stores. And we're not singling out corner stores just to go after them. It's the behavior that we have a problem with. You're going to do business in our community. You're going to do business in our neighborhood. You have an obligation to do it right. Our citizens deserve they deserve the proper product. They deserve to purchase product that's properly regulated. And if you're conducting business in our city, you have to do it right. That's the only thing that we ask. We welcome the business, but we just want you to do it right.
I just want to reiterate that it is important to note here, in fact, it's important, an important part of this is that this is not shoplifting. This is an organized group of thieves who are reselling this product to supply their own, in often cases, illicit behavior. So this is not a case of the desperate people stealing diapers or a can of soup or those kind of things. This is an organized criminal effort going to and then reselling these products, in often cases, particularly with Walgreens, medication to stores for them to sell. So it is not safe for the consumers who are buying it from the corner stores. It is further engaging in illegal behavior, and it is just another instance of how we are going to continue to scrutinize corner stores to make sure that they abide by the rules that we have put forth for them. With that, I'd open it up to any questions anybody has.
How long of an investigation was this?
6 months. 6 months.
Were the people arrested the owners of the businesses? Were they the people there when you raided them? Were they people organizing the whole, situation?
The people that we arrested were the people that when we sent our informants into the store, they were the people that actually spoke with the informants and purchased the merchandise from the informants. That's how we were able to charge them.
Obviously, you're getting the big guy who's buying all this. What about the people who are selling this? Have you guys been able to find any of those people and arrest them? Or is there an effort to do so?
Well, there is an effort to do so, but that's done separately and on almost a daily basis. And as I said before, we work with our coalition partners, and while when they discover people coming into their stores and stealing, as the mayor said, this is not just a person coming in to steal one candy bar and to walk out with it. This is an organized effort by people, the criminal element, who do this for a living to make money. So they're stealing a lot of product at one time. So once this is brought to our attention, based on the information that we get from the retail stores and video surveillance and other ways other means that we use to investigate, we conduct investigations like this to go after them on almost a daily basis. So yes, we are going after them. Yes, we have gone after them, and we will continue to go after them.
Any indication that any of the stores were working together in this effort? In terms of encouraging this, I guess?
as far as working together, nah, there's no indication that there was an organized network amongst the stores, no.
Basically, it's focusing on the cigarettes that were stolen, is that correct?
No,
No, it's not.
no, there's all types of merchandise, for example, it's all types of merchandise, and actually I was gonna mention specific merchandise, but I'm gonna stop just short of that, because as I said before, we're gonna continue to conduct these types of investigations, so I don't wanna give up any trade secrets beforehand and tip the bad guys out. So it was all types of merchandise. In fact, it was not cigarettes, it was other merchandise that was purchased and then put right back out on the shelves.
When did this coalition actually get its roots? When did this whole campaign and effort start?
It's a continuing effort, you know, me being with Walgreens, it's strength in numbers. We know what's going on in our stores, we receive intelligence, we'll debrief boosters when they get apprehended of what intelligence they have. And the same boosters are hitting Walgreens, right, HCVS, they'll be hitting Tops, they'll be hitting Wegmans. So we start sharing information, intelligence, that way we're able to present our case to law enforcement and ask for assistance. And, you know, at this time, I want to thank the Syracuse Police Department for their effort, the mayor, and everything they've done. I think it's a great, great investigation that was done here.
How did you guys find out that this was initially happening? Was it surveillance cameras? Was it people in the store saying, hey, there's people stealing stuff off your shelves?
I believe that's something that happens on a regular basis, and that we've been working together as stated with our partners to try to find common individuals that we may look to target down the road to help prevent this in the future.
How much of an issue is it for you guys? I mean, how much is being stolen?
It's a huge issue. Organized retail crime has been around for a long time. As the mayor indicated, it's not shoplifting. Shoplifters come into our stores to steal for their own personal use, as opposed to boosters come in to resell the product that they are stealing. The FBI estimates organized retail crime standing alone is well over $30 billion a year.
Now, does that dollar get passed on to you? Does it get passed on to the consumer? The next person walking into the store, where does that money actually get passed on to?
It's, when you look at any type of retail establishment, you know, there's costs have to be met. Representing Walgreens, our main concern is the consumer safety issue, as the mayor was saying. When that product's stolen off of our shelves, the over-the-counter medications, diabetic test strips, baby formula, whatever it may be, a lot of that product gets integrated back into the supply chain as legitimate product. But in the meantime, before it gets back into the supply chain, where is it being stored? What conditions is it being stored under? Climate control? No, not at all. So that diabetic test strips, when the individual buys that 6 months down the road, how effective is that reading that they're getting from those diabetic test strips? Of course, maybe 3 months prior, it was sitting in a self-storage facility, 180-degree temperature. So that's our first concern, is the consumer safety issue of our product when it's stolen off our shelves and unsuspecting consumers are buying it.
You said it was a lot at once. I mean, it's not just a bottle of pills. I mean, without going into specifics, can you say how much people are stealing at once?
Well, not to talk to the case specific with this investigation, you will have all different type of levels of boosters, your low-level boosters, small geographical area where they'll be boosting from. Maybe they'll be hitting 2-3 stores a day to reach that dollar value. Then you have your mid-level boosters or your level 2 boosters. They're more mobile, they'll have a vehicle, and they'll cross bordering state lines. Then you'll have your national traveling crews that travel across the United States. So speaking on my behalf, the product that they're stealing from our stores, it is not unusual for a crew to be out there hitting 20-25 stores in a single day, and they're coming in. So you can see the voluminous amount of product that is being taken.
Just for some background knowledge, how does then local stores here, one corner in Syracuse, come get that product in their store? I mean, do these boosters then go store to store selling them?
Yes.
And there are corner stores out there who do business properly. How do we make sure that consumers know either what stores they can go into or should go into without ruining the reputation of the good businesses?
Well, look, I think a lot of this is that you can tell when you walk into a good establishment, is it clean? The fire code being met? Are the products on there, look at the expiration date, are they within the expiration date? So I don't think that consumers in Syracuse are having a very hard time figuring out who are the who are good stores and who are the people who are living kind of stores on the edge of the law. Part of what brought this issue to our attention is that there are some neighborhoods where corner stores are their only way that they can get the products that they need because they don't have the transportation to go to other places, or some neighborhoods, it's a popular phrase now, are food deserts. So what we undertook was to say to the corner stores, all of them, you've got to live by and follow rules and regulations, and we're going to go in there, we're going to make sure that your fire code's up to date, we're going to make sure that the zoning is appropriate, we're going to make sure that you have a certificate of suitability. And so we have, again, every single leverage of government that we have, from rules and regulations on one end of the spectrum to now you're seeing police on the other end of the spectrum. And the police going in there, these are entities that were bought, acknowledged stolen goods.
It seems like some of them aren't getting the message. I know Johnny Fives was closed down over the summer for code violations. Yet again, they're being raided for stolen goods. What message do you guys have, and what do you do to
Look,
keep it?
we don't give up. We will keep going back over and over again. And with some people, it takes more than one message, and perhaps in a different way. It's, when you have a visit from the code enforcement officer, some people will learn from that. When you have a visit from men who are in uniforms with guns, that can sometimes be interpreted as a stronger message. So.
And is there focus both on the boosters selling them and the individual stores accepting the stolen goods?
Yes.
Yes. And one of the great things about this that I neglected to mention, that all of these stores here automatically qualify for nuisance abatement. And so we will also initiate that process.
Can you just explain that?
Sure. Nuisance abatement is a local ordinance that we have, and where if a location, if there's a crime committed, certain type of crime, if there's a certain type of crime committed at this location, and you have three incidents within a 2-year period, it gives me the authority to then bring them forward for a hearing and demand that they make certain changes within that location. And if they don't adhere to those changes, then I also have the further authority to shut them down or to fine them. And all of these locations will be brought forward for a nuisance abatement hearing, and there will be actions taken against them.
When will those hearings happen, do you know?
It all depends. It's a process that they have to go through, but the process is actually started now, but as far as a specific date, I couldn't give you that.
So that means that all 7 of these locations have had at least 3 incidents.
This investigation, because of the way that it was conducted, this investigation alone gives us those 3 incidents to go after them for our nuisance abatements ordinance.
The stores that were vandalized or products taken from what these gentlemen represent, is it just in the city, or is it outside of the city as well, part of this? The people that go to these stores, whether it's Wegmans or Walgreens and sell those goods, which specific stores will be targeted?
You mentioned vandalized. We didn't say anything about stores being vandalized. We're talking specifically about personnel that go inside the store and steal items. For this investigation here, the items that they purchased, they weren't actually stolen. They were purported to be stolen, which that means that the person bringing the merchandise into the store told the people inside the store that I have some stolen items.
Oh, okay.
Right? And that I'd like to sell. And they agreed to buy those items, and they bought the items at a very low rate, and we returned back later to find those items on the shelf, marked up sometimes 4 times the amount that they purchased them for. So that's kind of how the process works.
Okay, so what I'm trying to figure out,
Okay.
how are these gentlemen helping you out if merchandise hasn't been stolen from their stores?
Well, I think that the safest way to answer your question is to say that these 3 gentlemen represent Wegmans, Walgreens, and Tops, and each of those entities has stores inside the city of Syracuse outside the city of Syracuse, outside Onondaga County. And so they aren't narrowing their focus into any one, just the city of Syracuse. But it happens to be that obviously we have the largest, most sophisticated, and I would say best police department in Onondaga County. There may be others who disagree with that. And they came to us to start this operation. So it's not, in other words, I think what you were asking is, are these things just being stolen from stores in the city of Syracuse? Absolutely not. All over. And as Gary mentioned, this is a $35 billion problem in the United States.
Are there other members of the coalition who are present, or are your three stores the main ones?
No, there's a number of stores, a number of retailers in the central New York area. It's actually the Greater DeWitt Organized Retail Crime Coalition is the name of it. And you have to subscribe to it. And it's a way of sharing information that we can get out to the other retailers, because a lot of these boosters will hit 3, 4, 5 stores in a day, going from chain to chain to chain. We're able to share that information, so we're able to pick them up a lot quicker and turn that over to the local police departments.
I'm sorry, when did you guys say that the coalition started?
It started about 2.5 years ago.
And again, just a similar question, but that dollar, the $35 billion a year, that's getting passed down onto the consumer, or what do you see with your store?
I think that there's a number of ways it gets passed down. I mean, that you have inflation, you have a huge tax base that isn't getting collected because of that amount of money being pilfered off the economy of the nation and the counties and the cities.
You guys said $35 billion a year nationally. How does, I don't know if you can answer, how does Syracuse compare, Onondaga County compare to other places in the country?
I'm not sure that question could be easily answered. It's very difficult to say what percent of the pie came from Syracuse, but it's just part of that entire organized crime that happens to be here also in Syracuse and Onondaga County and surrounding areas.
And Mayor, I know you go all over the state, talking with other mayors and leaders. Have they expressed this as a concern in Rochester, Buffalo, Albany?
Well, actually, Buffalo and Rochester had their own crackdown on organized retail thefts, very successful, and so this is an issue across the country, across the state, and other upstate cities in particular have engaged in this kind of effort to fight this. All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Thanks very much.
Do you want to
Good luck.
comment on
Maybe that's something to be
Definitely.
corrected.
Jerry Bowen's.
Thank you,
very much.
appreciate it.